Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. A shot of entertainment to the head. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Everett Lee Show podcast. I am the Everett Lee. Quick shout out to everyone who follows me on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett Lee, Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up. And of course, Podcast City Network, the official host of the Everett Lee Show podcast. Tonight, I have another action-packed podcast here on Podcast City Network's Twitch channel. Podcast City Network, twitch.tv. So, without further ado, let me introduce my guest tonight. He is none other than Tomahawk from Kentucky Zone Wrestling. How you doing, Tomahawk?
I'm doing great. How are you, Everett?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Enjoying this heat down here in Daytona Beach.
We got some rain up here in Kentucky. That's all we got lately is rain, rain, rain.
Yeah, that's how it was down here a few weeks ago. We just had rain and rain and rain. It was just like nonstop rain here, and then all of a sudden it just heated up. Today it was basically almost in the 100s, triple digits down here today.
Oh Lord, you can keep that down there.
Yeah, I would rather have the rain as right now and today than this heat, man. Because you walk outside, you just stick your head out the window, you're already sweating.
Yeah, we're supposed to get heat this weekend, so hopefully the rain may be going, but I think we're going to get heated up. I think it's heading our way from you.
Yeah, I think whatever happens up there, we get the tail end of everything up north and stuff. Yeah, we pretty much get everything you guys get, just the tail end of it and everything. And speaking of being up there, where did you grow up at? Did you grow up north in Kentucky, or whereabouts?
Well, I mean, pretty much, yeah, I grew up in Kentucky, but my father, he was a professional wrestler, so I was all around, you know what I'm saying? Really wasn't located just everywhere, but we traveled a lot with him, but he was, we was pretty much stationed. I was stayed in Kentucky, pretty much. That's where I grew up at.
Oh, nice. At what was some of the earliest wrestling you watched growing up, you remember?
Like, I guess wrestling on TV or wrestling around here in the Indies. My earliest memory of wrestling watching on TV probably back in the, I'm going to say, the Memphis era, I guess, and the AWA era and all that, Georgia Championship Wrestling. I mean, I'm a pretty old guy, so, I mean, we can go back pretty far.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I remember, like, the Memphis wrestling on TV, like Saturday mornings with the Jerry King Lawler and Dutch Mantel and Tojo and all them guys. And that was my earliest memory. But traveling around, I remember I was about 5 or 6. I used to travel around with my father, and then I used to set chairs up. So that's my earliest memory of the indie wrestling with him and traveling around at the Papos and the Fargos and all that, where he wrestled at. So he wrestled all around, that's for sure.
Oh, nice. Who was your father? Who was he?
My father was Chief War Eagle. He wrestled back in the 70s and the 80s, and he wrestled all around. I mean, he wrestled in Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, all around the Virginia area, Indiana. He was big in the territory days. That's when he traveled around, and he worked for the Memphis area down there. Actually, I got a bail from the Memphis Coliseum. The KZW uses that. Actually, right now, it's the bail is 42 years old, actually, and we used that. He wrestled for ICW, Randy Macho Man Savage's dad's promotion. He done a lot there, and you can find him on YouTube. He was for YouTube matches. There ain't very many of them, but there's a few you can catch here and there from ICW.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I definitely like check out some of your father's matches, man. I always like pulling up old matches every once in a while. I know when I first got the WWE Network back when it was first new and they had all this content on there, and they probably still have it on there. They had a section of old school wrestling, and there was, I think, one of the oldest matches. We just pulled it up to see what one of the oldest matches far back they had on there, and it was an event from Madison Square Garden where I believe it was, I forgot who was wrestling, but I do remember in the match it was Chief Wahoo wrestling someone, man, and it was like 1978-79. I thought that was great, just watching that back then, seeing how things were compared to now, how wrestling is. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, I know he used to tag with Chief Wahoo McDaniel and Chief Youngblood, Jay Strongbow, and some of the older Indian guys that they used to tag us a lot, travel around.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. So you got to see your father in action too, growing up and traveling around with him too.
I was very young. Yeah, he's passed away now.
Oh,
he passed away when I was 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Oh wow. What was watching your father and being around wrestling? When did you decide that you wanted to become a wrestler? You wanted to get into it and get into the ring and become a performer?
Well, I mean, never really crossed my mind, but I guess it was in my blood, and then I really had no choice. And at the end of the day, but I've always wanted to get in the ring and be a performer and a pro wrestler ever since I was little, as I can remember. But when I turned 18, that was the day that guy came and said, "You're going to become a wrestler." He said, "You're big, you're built, you're forward," and he said, "It's in your blood." So he said, "You got to do it." And I said, "Well, okay." So went and trained me up, and that was it.
So where did you go and get trained at? Where did you go do your training at?
I done all my basic training in Rock City, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then under Buddy Porter. And then after I came back from there, I knew how to bump and hit the ropes, all the basic stuff. But then I got with a local promotion here and done a few matches, and it was all hardcore and stuff. And then I got with another local promoter, and he taught me more of the psychology end of wrestling. So he said, you got the goods, but he said you just need to learn the psychology of wrestling, how to tell a story. And then after he showed me that, and that was it. And so
nice.
Yeah, I got trained in Rock City, South Carolina. It's outside of North Carolina, but it's right in South Carolina.
Okay. So you started working for promotions. What were some of the promotions that you worked for?
That me or my dad did.
That you did.
HCW was one of the earlier ones, like Hardcore Championship Wrestling. They were more local here, and that's where I really started with them. And then it was like hardcore, and then after they went out of business, then I started traveling around the other promotions in my earlier days, like USWF and BCW, and went to a lot of Tennessee shows down and around Knoxville area, and just stayed pretty much in Kentucky and Tennessee area the most. And then I started traveling West Virginia. I've been a lot of places. Just can't remember the names of them, but wrestled for years on the road, tagging with people, and then working singles, and just staying on the road all the time. Seemed like it when I was younger. And traveling, I mean, it's good, but it gets old.
Yeah, I bet it does, especially traveling like up in like you said, Tennessee, West Virginia, traveling and doing shows up there. I'd say it did get, the road does take a toll on you there, traveling and just, trying to find work, trying to, work for different promotions and stuff though. But in a way, it's like building a resume, because you're getting your name out there, and when promotions hear of you and hear your work, then they'll be ringing your phone off. It's like, I got this event here. It's like, I want you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, I found KZW, and there was a little promotion started up here in my local area, and I've been with them since the second show. I missed the very first show. I was booked somewhere, but after that, I've been with KZW since the second show. I ain't missed a show since.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask you how long have you been with KZW? So you pretty much been with them from the start, except that first show.
Yep. Missed the first show, and then I was with them with the second show.
Nice.
And been with them ever since. Helped them go from nothing to what they are today.
That's great, man. I like that. I definitely like that. And I'm sure. I mean, KZW just recently had their 12-year strong, that show there. I was talking with the president of KZW, the true master of wrestling ring music, Hurricane J.J. McGuire, or as they would call him in KZW, Mr. McGuire, mentioned that you guys had a really good showing for your 12-year strong event. You had people that even showed up outside of out of the state that heard about the show, and they went and they came down just out of state. You had people coming from all over, and that's great. You pretty much had a packed house, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was. We could have got a few more in there, but not very many. It was pretty full. It was full. It's hot in there, but the gym has no air conditioner. But they still come out and filled it full. That's for sure.
I bet. He mentioned. He said you guys had the gym. The AC wasn't working, and it was pretty much it was hot in there.
Yeah. It's probably about 95, going easy at night.
Oh yeah, about 95. Wow, especially with the lights.
Hot in there. It was hot.
What was it?
Yeah, the lights all going.
Yeah, especially with the lights and everything, and just a packed house. So many bodies in a room. Yeah, it does get a little bit hot, don't it?
Oh yeah, quickly.
Yeah, I would say, I definitely would say, at the moment right now, who are you feuding with right now, and who's been giving you trouble in KZW?
Well, I got a couple of guys who's giving me trouble. It's versus the he's got a man of a million names. His name is Johnny Suede, but he goes by the original Dark Suede or Dark Suede. Depends on what day it is, and he changes his name. But his name's Johnny Suede. He wants me to sign a career versus career match. He wants me out of KZW, and I was like, I'm just ignoring him right now because he's just a bunch of hot air. But really, what's throwing right side right now is Darkness Worldwide by Barnabas Spector, David Barnabas Spector. He bringing some kind of a group in called Darkness Worldwide, and they are trying to take over. He's getting in JJ's face and our face, and we just had a tag match with him, and of course he tried to cheat, but we did come out with the victory, but they did leave us laying at the end of the night, and them guys are something else. They're up north. They call themselves Darkness Worldwide.
Yeah, Darkness Worldwide. I've heard of David Barnabas Spectrum. I've seen what he's been doing, and I know he's been trying to cause some chaos there in KZW. I mean, I've seen so far just just everything that's been on social media, especially with KZW. I know he's gotten in the ring and gotten into Mr. McGuire's face. He's gotten in his face, and he's caused a headache for a lot of people, man. And he's caused headache for you and Mr. Suede there. Just wants you out. How many times have you held the KZW Heavyweight Championship? I'm just wondering there.
Let's see. I'm a 3-time champion on the heavyweight title, and I'm a 2-time champion on the U.S. title. And I've held the tag titles numerous times. It's just hard to keep up with. I've had so many tag team partners in and out, and we won the tag belts numerous times. So I have to go back and check my books on that. But I was a 3-time heavyweight champion and a 2-time U.S. champion. I know that right off the top of my head.
Nice. I know you've had feuds with Matty B. I remember that right there. You having a feud going back and forth with Matty B there for a while with the heavyweight championship. That was something right there. You guys going back and forth there for the title. And when you have the title on you, you got a bullseye on you. And perfect example right now, Big Cousin Frank. He has that championship on him. I've had him on a couple times, and I think the last time I had Big Cousin Frank on, I had people like Jeremy Rage calling in and challenging the champion like right there. And I've had people like the Chris Rose when he was the former KZW United States champion. I've had people call him too. It's like when you have that belt on you, you're representing the company and you're the face of the company. And then you got people that come up from the back and they want a piece of the champ. They definitely want a piece of the champ.
Oh yeah, that's true. You got that title, but everybody wants it.
Yeah.
They always want to take it from you. Anyhow, any chance they can get, that they'll steal it. That's for sure. You just got to watch your back.
Yeah. I'm sure that with everything that's going on with Darkness Worldwide coming into KZW, trying to take over and trying to push you out, and just a lot of people trying to push you out. I know you'll stand strong, and you will defend, and you will stay in KZW. You'll make sure no one takes you out.
That's for sure. I ain't gonna let nobody take me out, especially Johnny Suede. I mean, if anybody takes me out, hopefully it'd be anybody besides Johnny Suede. But I ain't gonna let no one take me out. That's for sure.
Yeah, and a person like Johnny Suede. I mean, he's pretty unpredictable there, at times. And you got your hands full. It sounds like right now with Johnny Suede coming at you and giving you a hard time there. You have any words for Johnny Suede?
Hopefully, I don't see him for a while. That's some words, but yeah. He always wanted me to sign this career versus career. I just wise words, drop it, because your career will be the one gone at the end of the day. That's all I gotta say about Johnny Suede. He wants to always say career versus career. Come on, Tomahawk. And if he really wants it, if I sign that match, all I want to say is it'll be his career gone, not mine. That's for sure.
Definitely. What upcoming events does KZW have coming up here on the horizon?
Oh, we have a lot. We got our fair tour is still going on. We got a show this Saturday night, July 20th, at the Whitley County Fair. That's in Williamsburg, Kentucky. With a bell time at 5. And KZW had a lot of fairs this year, and we love going around to different towns and at the fair tour. And we got a fair this Saturday, July 20th. Then we have a big Turn Back the Clock 80 night on August the 10th in Shopville, Kentucky, our home. Bell time at 7:30, and we done 80 nights here for a couple of years, and the referees dress up with their little bow ties like back in the 80s, and the wrestlers come out with a different theme or different themes, stuff like that, like 80s, like Back to the Future and stuff like that, and fans love it, and we do best sign night that night. People make signs, and we do the best signs and pick those, and just a lot of fun. And then also we are returning back to the Wayne County area, Monticello, on Friday, August 2nd. So we've been away from Wayne County for about 3 months now, and we're returning back down there. So if the fans are in the Wayne County, Kentucky area, we'll return back to Monticello on Friday, August 2nd. So we got 3 big shows coming up here in the next 3.5, 4 weeks. So we're staying pretty busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does sound like it, man. It does sound like you guys are pretty busy at the moment right now with events and everything, and that's awesome. You know that you guys you're all staying busy and having a lot of people come out. And I did notice KZW doing a lot of fairs, which is neat, because a lot of people's out during the summer because no one's really sitting at home. They're out enjoying fairs, and it's a great place for KZW to showcase their talent and what they have there around at the fairs there in the state of Kentucky. I like that. I definitely like that, man.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of new fans actually from the fairs and Facebook, and then like when you said that we had a lot. JJ was saying we had a lot of people out of town, and I'm not a big Facebooker anyways. I mean, I look at it, but I don't post a lot of things on there. But anyways, we had fans come from Illinois and Indiana and Ohio just to come and watch our show this past weekend, and that's always good. How we're reaching a fan base just not in our area. It's going to different states, reaching fan base, and we got a lot of people that always wants us to come to our towns, and people emailing us and getting hold of Kentucky Zone Wrestling, wanting to know, hey, when's your next event? Hey, and we love you. We love the show. We drove 3 hours to watch it, and I was like, wow, that's good.
That's neat. You know, just knowing that KZW is reaching that far out, and I believe JJ mentioned. He said you guys were reaching far up as Michigan. You had people come in from Michigan just to see KZW. How do you feel about that?
That's great. I mean, just reaching that far, it's unreal that people travel that far to watch a wrestling show. And they're like, we ain't seen this quality of wrestling since I was a kid, and we loved it. And people comes in and just from 3 or 4 hours away and said, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking they came in from 3 hours away, and they drove through three towns with wrestling to come and watch us. Bypassed all them to come and watch us. It's just a good feeling. People want to come out and watch it. When they want to come out and watch it and drive and pay that money that far away, their hard-earned money, and drive that far away, it shows that we're doing something right, and we just love it. And if it wasn't for the fans, there wouldn't be no KZW, that's for sure.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the fans, definitely there wouldn't be no KZW. I mean, when I look at the Facebook page for KZW, you have about like 5.4 like thousand people. You got like 5,000 plus people that love KZW and like the page. They love the talent. They love everything that you put up there from the talent, cutting promos and stuff that you put up there, and then everyone from Big Cousin Frank to the Chris Rose to the Outlaws to just different variety of talent that's on there, putting stuff up there on the Facebook page. Because social media, a lot of wrestling, I would have to say that if social media used the right way, and how a lot of wrestling promotions use social media, I don't think that it would travel as far as it does with social media. It would word of mouth. It would get out word of mouth, but with social media right there, you can look up and see stuff in all over the world, different wrestling promotions, and even stuff that's like right in your own backyard that if you didn't know about, and you find out from social media on Facebook, Twitter, and I believe that's a really good tool to help, with fans, with promotions, with their local wrestling and independent wrestling. It's something, how you connect with fans.
Yeah, it's a very good tool these days, and like I can barely even log on to Facebook, but we got some good graphic designers, John Horton, and we got people know how to run our fan page, and they take care of that just phenomenal, and hands down with that, and just getting the word there. Everybody's like, I shared the flyer, and then I shared the flyer, and this one shares the flyer. But imagine if you got 4,000 friends on Facebook, and me and you only got 200 mutual friends, and if you share the flyer and I share the flyer, then I got 4,000 friends. That means 3,800 new on both ends is going to see that flyer. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of new people scrolling down Facebook and seeing that. And I think Facebook, I thought it was a bad way to promote years ago. It probably was. Now these days, I say that's every bit of 70% of at least everybody's how they promote today is Facebook. But I still say do it the old school way. Get out there and put your road signs up and your flyers, and still do that, because there's still a few people in the world ain't got Facebook, and some motor people, and they drive around, they see a flyer on a couple of machines says wrestling, and they write it down. But technology has formed a lot better over the years, but I'd say 75% of our fans come from Facebook, and we have people, like I said again, and it's just weird, wild and weird how people travel. And we had this weekend alone people from 4 different states. I don't know if it's going to take it back 5 different states come and watch us. We had Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Virginia, and Tennessee fans from them 5 states come and watch us. It's just wild how people do that, and no telling how many promotions they passed up just come to us. And it's just a good feeling, and they selected us. And there's a lot of indie promotions out there in the world today, and people don't realize that. And not very many in Kentucky, but we probably have about 15 promotions in Kentucky, spread out worldwide of Kentucky, but maybe less than that. But we ain't got a very big selection in Kentucky. But they travel from them 5 states to come watch us. So it's just a good feeling that we're putting a good product on. And a lot of people are like, man, this show is crazy. It keeps us on our feet. We don't know what's going to happen next, and we can't wait the next show and see what's going to happen. And they just love it. And all time I see emails from people, and people message me and from fans. And we had a 3-week break there. About a 2.5 week break we was off, and we had a lot of fans emailing us and get a hold of me on my personal page. It's like, man, we're missing wrestling. We're having what's it called? I'm lost in words here. They're having I don't know what to say, but they like we can't go 2 weeks without our KZW. We got to have it, but
right.
We had that 2-week break there in June, and they was having a fit. You know what I'm saying? We had never wrestling. And actually, we did have a few fans that went to another promotion about an hour from us, 45 minutes to an hour from us. Right. And they went down there, and they gave me a lot of feedback. They said, oh, my gosh, there's all kinds of negative feedback. And they said, it was horrible and all this. And we wish y'all had a show, an event. We missed it and all that. And that's always good to know, too. And
yeah,
tell people, hey, they went to another show, and they really was disappointed in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you put on a show, you give your fans and people who attend, you give their money's worth, man. You keep your product fresh with great, with what's going on with the talent, who's feuding with who's going after this person going after that person. Just good promos, just a good product. You got to present a good product. If you don't present a good product and the fans notice, they will let you know right away. Wrestling fans can be brutal, man. And yeah, if they don't like something, they will let you know. Perfect example. I don't know if do you keep up with WWE? Do you keep up with the current product of WWE?
Not really, but I mean, by Facebook, I know a little bit what's going on. I don't know them all by name, but I know about if I've seen a few things. I mean,
yeah. This past Monday, I was watching Monday Night Raw, and they were in Long Island, New York, and certain cities, the crowd is just the city where they're at. They could be brutal. They could be brutal with chants and liking and cheering or booing on what they like and don't like. And they had a fatal 4-way elimination match with Alexa Bliss, Natalya, Naomi, and I'm trying to think of who else was on there. Yeah, Natalya. Oh, Carmella. And it got down to the point where they basically had the last people were, I think it was Alexa Bliss, Natalya, and Naomi. And Alexa Bliss pretty much working over Naomi. The crowd started chanting, "This is awful." They started chanting, "This is awful." They did not like it. And they chanted it and stuff. And I was just like, wow, because they didn't like what was going on in the ring. And wrestling fans let you know if what they like and don't like. They voice their opinion. They're very opinionated. And sometimes they'll argue over stuff. It's just ridiculous sometimes. You know? Say I like a certain wrestler, and you don't like that wrestler. And then, or if I don't like a certain wrestler that you like, then, they go back and forth. I'm just using that as an example. It's just ridiculous sometimes. Yeah, how they do that, especially on social media. That's another downfall with the wrestling fans voicing their opinion. I mean, it's nice to see all these opinions, but sometimes it gets a little out of hand there. It gets really bad, and then people just gang up. It's just ridiculous,
Oh yeah,
it is.
Like you said, like the wrestling is brutal. I mean, you can do 10 things good and do one bad thing, and they'll remember you for the one bad thing for sure. They won't remember the 10 good things you done. They'll remember that one bad thing you done.
Exactly. It's pretty. It's messed up, man. How that is right there. How that is. Now with WWE being like one of the well-known, popular promotions that everyone knows about, and all these other promotions that's around, and especially this new one that's popped up, AEW, All Elite Wrestling. What are your thoughts on All Elite Wrestling? What have you heard about it, and what have you seen about it?
Well, I've seen a little bit of the match clips here and there, and then they've got a lot of talent on it, that's for sure, and they got a lot of money, but my opinion, I don't see it lasting that long, because it may last long. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll last for 100 years, but I just don't see it lasting long.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're supposed to be getting a TV deal here soon, I heard, but hopefully the TV deal help them out.
Yeah.
Somebody told me, I don't get really into it. Somebody told me that they're running free shows in Florida. Is that true?
Yeah, they pretty much, AEW, they pretty much have run a couple free shows here. At the end of last month, I went to this one. It was called Fighter Fest. It was part of the CEO Gaming competition. They came last year. CEO Gaming came last year with a gaming competition, and Kenny Omega is really involved with CEO Gaming, so he brought New Japan Wrestling with him, and they had video game tournaments, and then that Saturday night you go across from there and you got wrestling. And a lot of people who were there for the video game tournaments, like, oh, what's going on over here? And they walk over there. They got exposed to wrestling. They did it again this year. And it wasn't free. I had to pay. Me and my wife had to pay. Yeah, but to view it was free. They use Bleacher Report Live, and where you can view it. And if I believe there were some other ways that you can view the pay-per-view too, but they put that on. They put their pay-per-views on for free. But if you attend in person, you pay. And just like a couple weeks ago when they had or just last weekend they had the Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view, which people just showed up. You had to pay, but the pay-per-view was free. But the one good thing was all the proceeds and everything went to charity, which I thought was really nice. It went to the victims from the massacre or incident that happened up there in Jacksonville. I'm probably wrong on that, but I hope no one chops my head off over it. But they did it for charity, and their pay-per-views.
I've seen that a charity event, but I didn't know who it was for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their pay-per-views have been free, and I guess that's one way of just getting out there and just exposing their self with the product and everything, you know.
Man, I don't hope anything bad on them, but I hope they do well. I mean, looks like they have smart wrestlers in there, and I guess Cody Rhodes is running it, ain't he? What did I know? Him and his wife and a few other wrestlers is running it. But hopefully they do well. I mean, that'd be a good opportunity for a lot of indie wrestlers to move up and for a big payday and be exposed like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cody and his wife, Brandy, they're pretty much behind the scenes. They're running it, and with Tony Khan, he's basically the I'd say he's like the president of it. Tony Khan, he's the son of the father of the who owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he pretty much he's Cody and Brandy and the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, and other people are involved back behind the scenes to running the promotion. And Cody should know some things about running a promotion. I mean, look who his father was, the great, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. It's in his blood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it can last. I agree. It can last or it can fail. And when they have that TV deal in October on TNT, on I believe it's October 2nd or 4th, one of those dates there, we'll see how they do. And I know that the spot they were given on TNT was not given to them. They're paying for that spot right there. They're definitely paying for that spot.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the underdogs when I pull from AEW. I like them. I think that they remind me of WCW. I don't know how you feel about them, but they remind me of like the old WCW when they first started out, like the NWA and all that. Yeah. They remind me of it, and I hope they do well. I mean, I ain't here to bash them or anything, but I like the underdogs. I mean, WWE, they're the top promotion. Of course, we all know that. Yeah. But I like the Impact and the House of Hardcore. And I don't watch much Ring of Honor. I try to keep up with the Impact the best I can. It's on Twitch, and it's hard for me to watch it all the time because I can't remember what time it comes on. But I like to see all these other companies that's smaller make it big time, and that's how I am. But WWE, they got plenty of money. They ain't going nowhere. Nobody's gonna put them out of business. We all know that. Especially back then with WCW. I mean, right there when you buy your own competition out, you're not going anywhere. No, that's for sure.
You're definitely not going anywhere. And speaking of WWE, I was watching. I like pulling up stuff there on the network, and one of the things I like watching on there is NXT. I love the talent, that upcoming talent that gets showcased in NXT, and I followed quite a bit of the talent and everything that's on WWE on the main roster now. That I remember back when I was watching in NXT. Back when they were in NXT, like for example, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Tyler Breeze. I mean, I know Tyler Breeze went back, but just to name a few, a lot of the women wrestlers that's up on the main roster that you see on Monday night and Tuesdays, I remember seeing them back when they were starting out, cutting their teeth in NXT, which was fantastic in following their careers. And that's just what I like about NXT is it's wrestling. How WCW was just mainly wrestling. And that's how I feel NXT is. And 205 Live, they changed up everything in the last year. When Vince McMahon handed over the reins of 205 Live to Triple H, and because a lot of people were disappointed how 205 Live was going, and when Triple H is taking over it's wrestling. That's all you see, wrestling, and I love that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know Triple H was over 205 Live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's taken over for last year, and I remember I was sitting there watching SmackDown one night, and they were advertising that night for 205 Live. The match was Buddy Murphy. He was the Cruiserweight champion at the time, going up against Cedric Alexander. And they promoted it, and I was like, I should watch this. I haven't watched 205 Live almost a year at that time because I was disappointed in the product because it was goofy. Not much wrestling, just goofy backstage stuff. And I watched it that night. In that match, they gave them a good 45 minutes. Those guys blew the roof off in 45 minutes. And I definitely knew. I was like, this is a change from what I watched last year, a year to that, because they did one hell of a job. And I've loved it ever since. I love what they've been doing ever since.
Speaking of Cedric Alexander, I done a few shows with him. He's a good guy. I remember when he first broke into the business. We was in Tennessee doing a couple of shows together. He was real young then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember him and Man Scout, Jake Manning, Man Scout. They was touring together, doing a lot of shows. So they was working for High Spots at the time. Both of them was. But I remember he was real young, though. Cedric Alexander. He made it, so I mean, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's such a great talent there in NXT, or not NXT. I mean, he's been showcased in NXT, but yeah, 205 Live. Yeah, he's been great. He definitely has been great. Has there been anybody else that you've worked with that you remember like working with on, like doing matches with in promotions before KZW? Like you said, Cedric Alexander. Who else have you done a promotion work with?
Think off the top of my head here. I know I've done a lot with Abyss when he was younger. Of course, he made it. If you want to say he made a TNA Impact, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the locker rooms. Actually, I was in an OVW locker room with, this was quite a few years ago, with Rob Terry. And then, of course, Rob Terry, he done a KZW show with us before. And then also I was in the locker room with Eric Young. And I actually have sat in the locker room with Randy Orton when he was young in Ohio Valley Wrestling. So that's been years ago.
Nice.
So, of course, I knew Randy was going to make it because of his dad, Bob. But he was pretty cool about everything. Sitting in the locker room with him. But that's about, I can remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's been a few more that's made it. That I'm out of the loop on WWE right now. And I've got my hand in the mix of Impacts, trying to help some younger guys out there, but I try to keep up with Impact best I can.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get this TV deal that they've been working on. Hopefully it works out. So they need to get back on a local TV station, help them out.
Yeah, they do. They do. I know they've been shopping around there for trying to find a place here and there. I remember a few years ago they were on Destination America, and I thought that was one of the channels they were on, and they were on the Pop channel. They were getting on channels stations that no one could get a hold of. No one can actually get a hold of. When they were on Spike TV, that was perfect. That was perfect because everyone was Spike. That was good exposure there. But then when they started jumping around here and there, that's just you lose fans that way. You definitely lose fans that way. And you mentioned them being on Twitch. I do like their Twitch channel because they got they play their classic matches on there, and you get to see some really great wrestling on there too with their classic matches.
I know that they was up in Philadelphia a while back, a couple months ago, and that place was packed. Of course, Philadelphia is a wrestling town, no matter what you say about it.
Yeah,
of course they have some ECW stars on there too, so that's what drew their house too, and that's always good. And I think they just done a pay-per-view here, and it didn't do very well. I mean, I think it was in maybe Canada. I may be wrong, but maybe Dallas. I don't know. I can't keep up with them hardly, but I try. The last pay-per-view they done, it didn't draw very good, but I remember back on their pay-per-view, my wife was on down there at the New Year, the first of the year. It was New Year's resolution, I think it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Something. It was in Nashville, Tennessee. And my wife was on it. She got to carry out the casket of Sue Young. And we went down there, and the building was humongous. And I'm looking around, and I was like, man, are they going to fill this place up? Because I'm trying to visualize how many people fit in there.
Right.
And it was about 5,000 it held, and I was like, I don't think if they're going to fill it up. And at the end of the night, it was full. I mean, that place was plumb packed full. Wasn't a seat left. And it just seems like they're hit and miss. I think if they got a TV deal, like you said, and the fans could follow them, then that would draw their spark of interest to go when they come local somewhere to go watch them.
Yeah, it would if they stayed, if they got a really good TV deal and they stayed on one network, they would and build that up there. They would have a really good fan base because I feel like they've lost a lot of their fans because them moving around to different networks, and you lose fans that way. And just I feel that if they got a really good TV deal and they stuck with it, they can actually get a lot of fans. And hopefully they can do that. I hope for the best for them because I know for a while there they put on a really good. They got a good product. They got a good product now. Everything, they've got all the nicks and bumps out of the road now, and they're going on the right track right now. They're definitely going on the right track.
Oh yeah, Don Callis, he's a great mind. They got a lot of good people down there to take it in the right direction. Yeah. But TV is the main thing killing them right now. Like Eric Bischoff said years ago, when WCW was going to sell, and he said he was going to buy it, and he's like he had a buyer to buy it, all that, but when they bought it, they was going to buy it. The TV deal wasn't in it, the WGN, TNT, and all that.
Yeah.
And Eric said, "Well, it ain't worth $20 in if you don't come with it." TV
exactly.
If
the TVs. I mean, that's the thing. That's how you draw fans. If you're gonna be a syndicated or just a television show, a pro wrestling television show on TV, that right there, that you get eyes on the product. Not unless you spend about 300 something days a year doing house shows. You know? Oh
yeah, and don't get me wrong, you can make some money at house shows, but you just can't get the word out there. And I remember back in the day when I was watching like TV, back when I was younger, in Ohio Valley had their TV out of Louisville, and it spread all around the state of Kentucky. And they had a house show on the other side of the state. Mm-hmm. They had it on their TV, coming blah blah date to this town, and they promoted it on TV for months. And that's how they got their crowds and their house shows. Mm-hmm. The OVW, their TV went downhill, and they only stretch out to like 6 counties. Don't get me wrong, that's still a pretty good little TV deal they got, but they need to expand out. I know TV's hard to get. It's very, very hard to get. We've been working on up here trying to get Roku and stuff like that all together, and it's just so hard. And everybody's like, "Oh, you need to get TV," and I was like, "Yeah, I know." And I've been helping KZW trying to get it. It's just a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to city park unless you got the money. If you got the money to do it, then hands down, you can do it.
Exactly. And I would see no problem with KZW with that because you got a really good fan base. You got a really good loyal fan base that follows you and it keeps up with you. And I know when I've had guests on here from KZW, they've jumped in on the chat here. They followed me and stuff, and I've had a couple of KZW fans get on here on Twitter here on this channel here and asking, when's Everett Lee going to come up to Kentucky? And I'm like, you'll never know. Who knows, man? I only know. But it would be nice to go to a KZW show and have Podcast City Network there, because I know Podcast City Network has promoted and has done a lot of work with promoting KZW, and that partnership right there is really good, and I'm happy for the partnership with Kentucky Zone Wrestling and Podcast City Network working together, helping each other out, promoting and stuff, and it's been fantastic. We've grown here in the last year. The year's almost over, and we've developed that relationship with KZW and help promote them. They help promote us, and it's been great because both numbers on both ends has grown, increased. KZW fans have increased. Podcast City Network downloads, listens for all the shows, especially mine, have doubled because of KZW. And that's, the wrestling programs with the other wrestling shows on the network. It's been great. And I love it. And I love everything that KZW does, and I love everything that you guys do, and just the talent and everything. I love having them come on. I know they get into, fights on here and everything and stuff. There's some animosity, but I love it. And I love everything that goes on, and I can't wait to see what else is next. What's going to be happening in KZW with who's is Cousin Frank, how long he's going to hold on to that title. Is the Outlaws going to drop the tag team belts? You gonna stick around, or are you gonna? Is Mr. Johnny Suede gonna beat you? I'm interested in this stuff, man. I'm interested to see what happens. I definitely am to see what happens, and I hope Johnny Suede don't beat you. I hope not.
Okay.
I'm pulling for you, man.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I got a lot of fans pulling for me, and just again, I just can't stress out how like you said, the fan base follows us, and we can travel an hour away, and then we have 20, 30, 40, 50 fans that follow us, and it's like, we can't get enough of KZW, and we got some older fans that come, and it's like, man, this wrestling here reminds me of when I was watching TV with my grandpa, or I was watching TV with my father growing up, and
right,
reminds me of the Memphis days, and we're like old school wrestling, but with a twist, you know what I'm saying? We got the high flyers, and we got the characters, and we got the old school wrestlers and new school wrestlers, and just put it all in one and mix it up.
Yeah. That's what it's about, for having people and fans, just watching your product. That's great. You got a good family friendly atmosphere with KZW, Kentucky Zone Wrestling.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. We want to get with something for the kids to do, and get the kids in there, and the parents come in there, and the parents fall in love with KZW wrestling more than the kids do. But we do it for the kids. As some events there at the end, when Frank won his heavyweight title, and when he defended it, won, and got in there at the end, and the kids got in the ring with him and danced for a second, and they'll remember that forever. That's just a memory that I'll never forget. And parents is like, my kids loved it, and this and that, and we've been doing we've done a few fundraisers this year, and got a few more fundraisers scheduled for later on this year coming up at different schools, and KZW likes to give back to the community, and that's for sure. And and that gets the name out there, and people are like, oh, they done this, and we had a big benefit show back in January. One of our announcers, or one of our guys that took pictures, he passed away. He was only 19-year-old, and we done a big benefit show for him. We had different organizations come in and help us out, and we done one big show, and we drew over almost 500 people that night. So that was like, wow. For him.
That is crazy.
And we bought him a tombstone and helped out on some of the expenses with his mother. So that was all. It was just a good feeling that what KZW done. I was glad I was a part of it.
That's amazing, man. I like it. I like that. That's amazing. That's awesome. That is.
One of my favorite memories this year so far with KZW with that show, and I remember they was coming in the back. Security guards was in the locker room. They came in our locker room there and grabbed every chair, and they said, "We're out of chairs and standing room only. What we do?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Just let them keep coming in." People, it's crazy. It's a little 500 that night. I mean, it was a big crowd.
That's good. That's good having a big crowd like that, man. Especially checking out the product and everything that's goes on with KZW. That's amazing, man. That is, and I'm looking forward to in August seeing what happens with the 80s night on Saturday, August 10th. I'm looking forward to that there at the old Shopville gym, and doors open up at 7 p.m. Bell time at 7:30. I'm looking forward to seeing that and seeing what 80s retro you guys throw back to, and it shows up on your Facebook page. I'm looking forward to that right there. and the other events coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good night. The 80s night, everybody loves that. Throwing back, like you said, the retro night. And then, of course, we got our coming up show this weekend, Saturday, July 20th, at the Whitley County Fair. And we always love doing fairs. They're fun.
That's amazing.
And then also we'll return back to Monticello in August. We got a lot of dates this year already booked. I'd say at the end of the year, KZW will probably push around 50 to 60 shows easy this year. And stuff said and done a year. That's a lot of shows.
Yeah, that is a lot of shows. That definitely is a lot of shows for KZW Kentucky Zone Wrestling. That is a lot of shows right there. It definitely is. It definitely is. And any last words you want to say to Johnny Suede right before we close on this podcast?
Just hopefully, if he wants to keep running his mouth, he's going to have a death wish coming up if he wants career versus career. Because I've been there for 12 years, and I ain't planning on giving no career up over him, especially Johnny Suede or Doc Suede or whatever he wants to call himself from the flavor of the week. And I want to invite everybody, if they're listening to this and if they're in the area, or check us out on YouTube. We got some YouTube little shows up from the past and present. They can check that out. And if they're out of town and if they want to travel, hopefully they can come and check us out. And we enjoy our fans. If it weren't for our fans, we couldn't do it without that. And Johnny Suede just better keep his mouth shut. The bottom line.
Yeah, definitely. Johnny Suede, if you're listening, you go back and watch this. Tomahawk has your number, man. So I would be warned. Now, where can people find more of Tomahawk on social media?
Well, like I said, I ain't very big on social media, but I do have a fan page under Tomahawk, and I think I am on Twitter. I don't want I'm under. That's bad, ain't it? I do have a Facebook page. My personal page is under Dennis Thomas Spradlin. They can check out there on Facebook under Tomahawk or Dennis Thomas Spradlin. That's what easiest way to get a hold of me and check out things and check out where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing. And also, if somebody's listening, go to Kentucky Zone Wrestling on the Facebook page. Give us a like and keep up with us, and hopefully we can see you ringside one day.
Nice. I want to thank you for coming on tonight and taking time out and coming on here and talking with me. I had a great time having you on, and looking forward to having you come back on in the future.
Oh, I'm glad you have me. I'd love to do it in the future. And if I ever get down to Florida, I'll let you know. Maybe we can meet up and go grab us something to eat, hang out.
Heck yeah, I definitely love that. I definitely would love that. I definitely would.
Yeah.
And before we do close and in this live stream here tonight on Podcast City Network's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Podcast City Network, I want to mention that you can find more Podcast City Network at the following right here on podcastcity.net, the official website of Podcast City Network. Click over there and check out your favorite shows such as the Everett Lee Show, Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast, Wrestle Popcast, the Squared Circle City Show, Mark the Shark MMA Show, and the Chris Carnage Show, Final Score, and much, much more on the network. Hit them up on Facebook, Podcast City Network. Give a thumbs up and a like on there. And send a tweet to them on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Be sure to subscribe to the Podcast City Network YouTube channel for video portion podcasts such as the Everett Lee Show on that channel right there. And right here on Twitch, be sure to subscribe to Podcast City Network right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network. And you can follow more of the Everett Lee Show over on Facebook, the Everett Lee Show. Give a thumbs up and a like right there. And on Twitter at the Everett_Lee. I'm on Instagram, Everett Lee Show. Give a follow and a like there. And the audio portion of this podcast and previous release podcast on the YouTube channel, The Everett Lee Show. And you can always find the audio portion podcast on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Google Podcast, Google Play, whatever they call it nowadays, and on Podbeam. Everett Lee Show is on Podbeam. And that is it for the Everett Lee Show podcast. I hit my outro music, but it's not playing. There we go. All right. Everett Lee signing off. Everyone have a good night. And we'll see you again next week for another exciting episode of the Everett Lee Show.